Yo, what's going on? We're here with another episode of the Halfcast podcast. Keeping the trend of bringing... We had 2 of the BMFs last week. Thank you very much for... It's been a massive response. And today we've got George Ferocious Kambosos. My man, thanks for coming in.
Man, we're here. You know, obviously I tuned into your last week's episode.
Man.
You know, you had the BMF of the UFC.
Now we've got the Aussie BMFs. Bro.
Yeah, now you got the Australian BMFs right here.
There we go.
I mean, excited to be on.
Cool, bro. Well, there's a couple of things I wanted to clear up before we just got into it. Obviously, today's some big fights. We've got the UFC in Auckland, New Zealand, and we've got the Wilder Fury fight. Man, first of all, who have you got, Wilder Fury?
You know what? It's a tough fight. You know, I've been tossing up and down since yesterday until the weigh-in. Seeing how heavy Fury's come in, I think Wilder's going to capitalise on that. I think Tyson's looking for that big shot, and you know, when you're exchanging with fire with a guy like Wilder, you know, he's going to get caught.
It's crazy.
I'm thinking between 1 to 6.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to go put some money on it as well.
Right,
so since we finished,
quickly sneak out.
Yeah, I'm going to throw some cash on it. You know what I mean? I might be wrong, but
I might run down there with you.
Yeah.
Gamble responsibly.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Then the next one is the UFC Auckland.
Yep.
A lot of boys I've just saw now that Kai won, Kai France, and there's plenty others on there. Dan Hooker, you said you knew him.
Yeah, look, Dan's come and watched me fight when I fought in New Zealand when I was the co-main to Joseph Parker. I actually got a really close relationship with his father-in-law, Andy, who's you know, a successful sporting star back in the 80s and 90s. You know, I mean, he's played for Australian soccer and really nice guy. I've known him for a long time. So,
man, Dan's a full serious guy, man. Hey,
yeah.
Have you trained with him or anything?
No, I haven't trained with him, but I know Andy's always brought it up and said, "Look, man, we should get you and you know, Dan doing some sessions together." And he's like, "Man, maybe you can." Cross paths one day and obviously do some UFC and stuff. So
yeah, that drive, bro. I can see that same fire with you guys. It's you know, he's just a real serious guy, no fucking around, and he's gonna bring it to you in training, no matter whether it's something like that.
100%, man. And I'm the same. You know, when you're in the gym, when you're preparing for a fight, you're preparing for war.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you can lose your life in that ring or in that octagon. I mean, it's serious business, and you know, that's why I take my training camps and obviously when I fight.
So. Professional boxer, 18-0, 10 KOs, top 3 lightweight contender at the moment. You've also got Ferocious Promotions, CEO, father, husband. Anything else to add to that?
Man, it's a lot. You know, man. I think all of that is you know, is a lot just there.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing a lot of things. You know, we've got big fights coming up, world title eliminators. You know, I'm a father of 2 beautiful kids, my daughter and my son. I mean, I've got my promotional company running now, which, you know, we're signing fighters. We've got fighters, you know, fighting on different cards. So we're running with that as well. And, I mean, obviously social media is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, man.
And then obviously training like a beast, you know, twice a day, 3 times a day. So it's a lot, but, I mean, time management and obviously I get through it all.
And what led you to boxing? I know it brought us up, so I wanted to talk about this topic because obviously I think you've seen on social media there's a kid that's been bullied at the moment. Quade. So I think he has dwarfism.
Yep.
I don't know if he's half Aboriginal, but I saw the video. It's full on. But you mentioned that you were also bullied as a kid. Is that what led you to boxing?
Yeah, look, I was bullied pretty heavily at school. I was an overweight kid.
Really?
You know, everything. And it's hard to believe now, you know, how
what
fit I am.
What were you weighing?
I used to weigh around 61, 62 kilos back as like a 10-year-old. I mean, so I fight at 61.2 right now. So I was a short, little, stocky, you know, Greek Australian kid, you know, and you know, I was playing rugby league back then. You know, I was a good player. Always put 110% into everything. Always had that focus and dedication. But I just loved to eat. You know, I'd go to my grandparents' house and they would throw food at me. You know, I mean, they still try to do it even when I'm making weight. They're like, eat.
No,
you look unhealthy.
Yeah.
You don't look well. And look, my old man, you know, he's been with me for a long time, and I've got a very good, close relationship with my old man. You know, obviously, I see you with your father as well, and you know, man, I can relate to that.
Yep.
Obviously, my father's not in the gym, but you know, he's always there with my career, and he looked after my career early. And you know, I was playing footy, and he goes, "Look, we've got to lose some weight, man. You're not going to be able to make these A side, not going to be able to cut it." So yeah, we decided to head down to the boxing gym. And one thing led to another, man. I just fell in love with the sport.
What
fell in
age
love
was
with
this
that.
at?
I was 10 years old. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I love the sport, man. I fell in love with it, and just that raw combat. Of being one-on-one with someone, preparing for war. I just fell in love with sparring and the whole thing about it. So I lost a lot of weight. I lost about 12 to 14 kilos. Right. I went back to the next season for footy, and the coach couldn't even recognise me. He goes, "Well, where's George?" Well, there's that skinny guy over there now. The skinny young kid. So, my footy got better. And obviously I started having my first couple amateur fights. I was successful in that, and my old man would always say, "Look, you're gonna reach the cross paths one day. You're gonna get to the part where, it's gonna be a cross path." So I couldn't understand it at that age. I didn't know what he meant. But eventually when I'd fight on a Friday night and then play footy on a Saturday, after that I knew exactly what he meant. And the day I made the actual Sharks representative team development squad, went to the first training session and my heart wasn't there. I wanted to be a fighter. I never looked back since that day.
I know is it your cousin plays for Sharks?
No, my sister's boyfriend.
Oh,
Billy.
Right,
Billy Magoulias, and he plays for the Sharks. He's doing well.
He's in the NRL team now.
He's in the NRL team. He's actually had a big year last year. He had his 2 obviously games in the NRL, but he done some really good things with the Newtown Jets, and pretty much won them games, back to back in the grand final and the state cup. So he's doing awesome. Very hungry kid too. He puts in a lot of work, and when you put in that hard work, you're going to be successful with whatever you do.
And that was coming back to yours. I wanted to know, like, did that bullying give you that drive to work harder, to lose the weight, or was it more the father's side? Because as a kid, you don't even really understand what the bullying is. Hey, you don't. It's hard to see where that drive comes from. What we've been trying to do on the podcast lately is find that 1% that's made it in sport, like made it to the top echelons of sport. And what key factors drove them to get to that situation as kids? Because it starts when you're kids, man. Those lessons of hard work, those visualizing where you want to be. We did it with Mike, and what were those hardships that you went through and that adversity that you got through to make you here? And bullying was one of them, obviously.
I think so. I think the bullying, when you come last, with whatever you do, you pick last. School they're picking teams, and lunchtime sport, or lunchtime footy, you pick last. That hurts. You want to be picked first. You're doing races, you're doing things at school, you're always coming last. So I think, that there, where you want to get to the top, you want to be first. That there has stayed good with me since that age. That bullying factor, you know how shitty that feels, and you're always gonna, as you progress in your career, you want to keep showing good in what you're doing, and obviously you want to inspire a lot of young kids too. They're getting bullied right now. We've seen it obviously in the news the last couple of days with this young kid, and it's very sad. But there's so many other kids too, getting bullied as well. So
for sure, he's one of thousands, millions,
if not millions, around the world.
And see, the problem is now, like, I don't know if you've seen what's happened. There's been a lot of, so even there's people come out saying that he's done stuff as a kid or his mum, and then people have said that he's doing this on the internet, but there's been scammers. I don't know. Have you seen that?
I've seen a little bit of it where they're saying that he's 18.
Yeah. So
man,
I spoke to, do you know Joe Williams?
Yeah.
He just said, he goes, bro, I know him. He's a kid.
He's a kid, whatever he's putting on his social media and mucking around.
Exactly.
He's a little kid.
He's probably said the wrong things to people as well. But no one until they've been into his situation can understand what that kid's gone through. So until you meet the guy, stop writing shit about him.
That's right, 100%.
And make your own call on that. Don't listen to what other people are saying about a kid and then make the call.
And the sad thing is, you see it on social media. It's grown men, grown women that are saying he's talking shit about a little 9-year-old.
Yeah.
And obviously you'd see it in your side of things as a sporting star, and obviously I see it as well, where you got grown men and women, sitting behind a computer or behind a phone. Yeah, writing things and writing, rubbish.
Yeah, man. Because I'm sure you would see it as well. But I think it happens a lot with boxing because a lot more people have boxed in Australia than they have done wrestling or MMA. But for some reason, they have a lot of opinions and strong opinions about boxing. And you see them; these guys that have never fought, telling you how to.
Well, that's the thing.
Need to throw more left.
Yeah, like, with my last fight, I beat former world champion in his hometown, in his backyard at Madison Square Garden. And look, there's a lot of people that were so happy and positive, but again, you're going to get a few guys, oh, he's not world level. Okay, I just beat a former world champion in his backyard. 18-0, you know, I mean, I've wiped out everyone here in Australia. Oh, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Okay, well, I beat a former world champion. I mean, you tell me when you beat a former world champion in his backyard. Thanks, so it's with everything, man. It comes with the territory, and it's sad in the society we live today that, you know,
it's humans, bro. Humans are strange. It's going to happen no matter what.
Look, the crazy thing is, never in my life, you know, obviously I've had a lot of people write stuff, and it is what it is, but you know, wherever I go, wherever I walk, you know, been to big fight nights, been to big cards, wherever in the world, you know, or in Australia, never have I had anyone come up to me and say, you know what,
to your face, bro,
you don't know how to fight, or you don't know how to do this, or you're rubbish, or, you know, so I'm waiting for the day, because, you know, obviously, I'm the BMF of Australian boxing, so I'm waiting for the day someone to actually come up, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I know.
I know exactly what you mean. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And but the funniest thing is, if you ever reply to some of these people, straight after that, this same motherfucker that just said you ain't shit will go, oh man, I'm a big fan.
That's right, 100%, man. Like I've had guys write shit, you know, like a couple of years ago about certain fights, and then they've come back to me and say, man, I wrote shit. I didn't like you, but now I'm a fan.
Yeah.
So, all right, okay. No worries then. Yeah, welcome aboard.
It's like a. It's hard because even when you, like, a lot of people will say that it doesn't get to them, but you know those comments, they'll stick to you sometimes if they throw it up against the wall. Some of it will stick. Yeah,
especially when you put your heart and soul into things, you know what I mean? Like, they don't understand the hard work, the training, the sacrifice, you know what I mean? The time spent away from your family. So many factors that come into what we do, you know, as fighters. And then you're putting your life on the line. And then you got someone that's never thrown a punch, doesn't even know how to put hand wraps on, you know, let alone, you know, do any sort of boxing or fighting or UFC, to come and say something. You know, sometimes it's like, oh man, please, man, please, like, you know, it is what it is. What
I read a good thing in David Goggins' book, and he was like, a lot of these people that say this stuff, it's because they're so insecure about themselves.
Yep.
And I was like, I fully understood that, but he was like, but also these bullies, sometimes there's some truth to it. He was like, so, like, if you're fat and he's calling you fat, maybe it's because you're fat.
Yeah,
he was like, if you go train what you did, then you take that power away from
that's
him.
Right.
Now you're the man because you took that away from them.
He's 100% correct, yeah.
There's, as you noticed, there's a bit of changes on the podcast. We've got one camera now, so we did hear some of your comments. Some of them are bullshit, but, you know, like, you should have some sort of like IQ test to be able to comment on.
Yeah, man. Like
social media.
If people are gonna sit there and comment, you know what I mean, like at least show me some proof that
you're
a
boxer,
fight, or you know what I mean, or you hit the bag, you're hitting the bag wrong. Okay, so send me a video.
You saw that Stephen A. Smith, the basketball reporter.
I've heard about him. Exactly what happened.
Cowboy.
Yeah, but I know he did say some stuff.
And
about,
then they put the thing up about him doing pads.
Well, I've seen him do pads as well. It's like, well, okay, well, that's your, you know, I mean, there's probably 2,000 things I can pick that you're doing wrong there, you know.
But last year, man, massive year for you. I was doing a bit of study last night and watching some of the fights. From your first fight in, it was January, wasn't it? With that was a Manny Pacquiao undercard.
Yeah, it was the Pacquiao Brown undercard. I was obviously the main sparring partner for Pacquiao again. That was my third camp, working alongside him.
Yep. So and that's what I wanted to get into. Was how long before the Manny Pacquiao undercard were you training with him?
We trained for about 9 weeks. So we were in the Philippines for 4 to 5 weeks. And then we
was that your first camp with him?
No, that was at my third camp.
Third camp.
That was for that fight. But
right. Yep.
I worked with Manny for the Jeff Horn fight when he had that fight here, and I was actually supposed to fight on that card, have a big fight on that card, but my partner was pregnant, and you know she was very close to giving birth. We don't want to risk anything there. So we pulled out of that card, and we don't want that stress. And
because it is so much fight camps, there's so much stress on your partners,
especially
on your
me being away and me being in the Philippines. And you know, even when I was in the Philippines for that first camp, I was always worried that, you know, I had no Wi-Fi, so I had no phone data on my phone, obviously, because you're in a third world country, and you get back to the hotel and you get your Wi-Fi, and you're like, please don't tell me the baby's come. You're checking, okay, you ring up, everything okay. So that's the risks and things you do, you know, to progress your career. And you know, obviously I sat down with my partner and discussed that before I went. You know, that opportunity popped up through Freddie Roach and my old trainer Justin Fortune. So you know, I couldn't let that go. And my partner was understanding. She said, "No, you go. Everything will fall into place." But we had a great camp. Obviously, the fight didn't go the way we planned with him and Jeff Horn.
Yeah.
But then he came back for the Matisse camp.
Yeah.
To be honest, I never thought I was going to get caught up again. I gave him great work in that first camp, but I didn't think that he'd be looking for something different, for the Matisse camp. So when he called me up again and said, "No, we want you again."
That's cool.
That was awesome. I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting.
Testament to your work ethic and your like grind.
Yeah.
How did the initial camp with Jeff Horn come about?
Well, I was sparring in LA for the first time I was out there. I was sparring some real heavy hitters. Sergey Lipinets, who's former world champion, Andrei Klimov, and I was giving these guys real good work. So my old trainer Justin Fortune came out and said, "Look, Manny's got a fight against Jesse Vargas. We're interested to possibly have you sparring against Pacquiao." Unfortunately, Jesse Vargas is pretty tall, and obviously I'm not the tallest fighter in the world. Yeah. So that didn't work out. But when I went back for my second camp, and I was sparring at Wildcard in front of Freddie, and I was sparring Jose Ramirez, who's the current WBC and WBO world champion, and Ray Beltran, who's a former world champion. I was sparring these guys back-to-back, 5 rounds each, so 10 rounds straight with world champions. Yeah. These guys were all sparring partners of Pacquiao. Yeah. So when Freddie obviously seen what I was doing with and he was seeing that, he's like, okay.
Put it on them, bro.
Well, yeah, giving that serious work, and like, okay. How would you like to go? Yeah, go spar Pacquiao. Obviously he's fighting an Australian guy, and we really don't know too much about Jeff Horn, but would you like to come? And we'll have you there as the main sparring partner. And I said, of course, let's do it. So I still had to go and fight. I had that big fight against Camille Bala, which was the co-main.
Yep.
That was a huge fight.
That was in June. Oh no, this was prior.
That was prior. Yeah, that was
2018.
That was in New Zealand. So I had that big fight to get through. I had to win that fight, and obviously Camille Bala is a serious fighter.
Yep.
Throughout the fight, I was obviously starting to beat him down and break him down, but I copped a pretty serious cut on my eye. And my first thing that went to not even thinking about the fight, I was like, shit, the Pacquiao sparring. Hope that doesn't affect this Pacquiao sparring.
That was in training?
That was in the fight.
Oh,
yeah, that was in the fight. So, man, we got through, and we ended up doing the camp with Pacquiao. And then when we got caught up again for the Matisse camp, it was awesome, man, to see how a world champion, a guy that's done everything in boxing, how he comes back from defeat. Yep. And does he still have that hunger? And the way he trained, the way we both trained and pushed each other, was something, you never forget.
Like, I know when I've met people like that on that level, because it's not so much starstruck, but it's like almost like mentorship. You know what I mean? They've been inside the game so long, and the level that they've been at, you're trying to pick up little things from them. And would you count him as a mentor, or like a? Yeah,
look, a lot of
has he taught you a lot, or changed the direction of your career or anything like that?
A lot of the things that the things that we've done, the 3 camps were world championship, training camps. He was all having 12-round world title fights. So everything he was doing, I was doing the same. Yep. So even though I haven't fought for my world title yet, obviously my eliminator's coming up, which is a 12-round fight. It's pretty much a world title fight. Yep. I've done 3 world title camps. I know what I got to do to put in the work. I know that 1% that a legendary fighter like Pacquiao does. I have that now. I know what I got to do. Yep. And he did put in little bits and pieces. Yeah, was that added to my game.
Was there surprises in there that you go, oh wow, that's something to take away?
Yeah, look, there's little bits and pieces, obviously, with the running and the amount of rounds. He just pushes out so many rounds. You're fighting a 12-round fight, but the guy will do like 24 or 30 rounds in training camp every single day. So yeah,
you boxers take some punishment, man.
We take punishment, and we're sparring 3 times a week. Yeah, I'm going to war with Pacquiao, trading leather. This is not your average guy, This is one of the best ever. Yeah. What he's done, the records are incredible. No one's ever going to do that again. No one.
You look at like people talking about, oh man, that was a hard round, 12-round fight or something, and they're going, man, he's taking some punishment that'll take some years off his life. But he's done 20 rounds, 30 rounds a day in sparring.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, well, not sparring. He's doing 12-round sparring, but the pad work. Oh yeah. So as soon as he finishes sparring, he'll do the pads and the bag, and just seeing how he continuously grinds through was great lessons for myself, and I'm doing the same thing.
How much is he running?
Man, even the running, we're running every single day. We're doing 10Ks 3 times a week of mountain running in his hometown. Then we're doing like 4 or 5Ks of sharp, fast running. He loves to run. Yeah, that's why when you look at his calves,
that's that Filipino calves.
That's unbelievable. They got big calves, man. That's why they generate so much power.
Yeah, for sure.
Monster calves, but
It's
crazy
that explosiveness off the floor. I was just watching a breakdown of Deontay Wilder and why he's able to generate so much power, and it was off of it was his ability to launch. It's like he hits 7 miles per hour just from his launch when he throws his 1-2.
Well, that's the thing. The amount of power you can get from obviously your feet, and even the slightest thing with my new team. We're working on the slightest thing from your toes. From your ankles to your Achilles to your shins. It's a chain reaction. People say, "Fuck, man, you're so explosive, you're so powerful, you're so so strong. How do you generate so much power and explosiveness?" Well, it's all the little bits and pieces. You add everything. It starts from the ground. I can shoot a shot. Obviously, we've seen in the Mickey Bey fight in round 10. Where a fighter's supposed to be slowing down, all of a sudden, boom, take him down, put him down. We'd be so explosive like that.
I saw that combo. That was fast, man.
Man. Obviously, and it was boxing 101. You had to go, land that shot, catch him, put him down, and then make him miss.
Hit and not get hit.
It shows the hard work is truly paying off, and I'm maturing as a fighter and becoming a veteran in that ring. Obviously, I've had 18 fights, but I truly feel I'm a veteran in that ring now.
It's the sweet science, man. Like we've said it a few times on here. Boxing's now you're able to master it. MMA is still so far away from that. That's why you're able to see these people with the no losses. I think there's probably only John Jones at the top level that's really had the no losses, and even that was a disqualification. So it's looking like people are starting. So who in Australia it'd be like you. Oh, shout out Daniel Lewis. He's fighting today.
He's fighting today as well. Yeah, he'll be fighting soon. So obviously me and Dan have some history back in the amateurs. He's a great kid, man. I respect him a lot. Another guy that's not sitting around here. Got a lot of guys here that just sit here in Australia and wait around and
won't fight each other, right?
Yeah, won't fight each other and waiting for that opportunity. Man, Dan's just going out there and doing his thing.
Nice. That guy that was fighting was like 6 foot something.
The guy he's fighting, I don't know how he makes the weight. He did make the weight.
Yeah. I haven't seen the other guy fight. Is he anything good? Or?
For a tall guy, he actually wants to come inside and
oh, really?
And try to break a guy down. I think that will work an advantage for Daniel Lewis, but we'll see, man. It's going to be an interesting fight.
Then on the Australian scene at the top, Jai Opetaia. He's probably one of the others. They're coming up. Who else have we got? Have we got any heavier guys, really?
There is a really good amateur guy, Justice Hooney.
I heard that name. Is he from Queensland?
I think he's from Queensland, So he's making a bit of noise.
Young kid, hey?
Young kid, yeah.
So he's a beast, right?
He's a really good fighter. I've been having a look
Tongan
at him.
Or Samoan? Or?
I think so, yeah. There is, some Islanders in him. But, man, the kid is a really good fighter.
Yep.
Big chance to win a medal in the Olympics.
Oh, really?
Coming up, so we've never had a medal in boxing.
Is it true that they were going to put allow pros to fight in boxing?
There is. I'm pretty sure there is some truth to that. I'm sure that they've already started doing certain things like that. If you've had a certain amount of fights, you can be in the Olympics. But
because I think boxing is the only sport where it wasn't allowed. Because like tennis, soccer, they're all pros.
Yeah, basketball, they're all professionals. You got. And the best of the best in them.
I honestly don't want to see it. Pros in the boxing.
Neither.
Amateur is amateur, pros pro. Like
it's two different sports.
One's scoring points, the other one's supposed to really... You're trying to hurt and maim each other. You're trying to kill each other.
100%. You go from 3 rounds to 12 rounds. Total different ball game.
Yep.
So, look, you stick with the amateurs. That's your obviously your apprenticeship.
Yep.
Some guys just want to be amateurs for the rest of their career. Represent, obviously, the Olympics and make them teams and win medals. It's a whole different ball game.
Sure. And so how many amateur fights did you?
I had 100 amateur fights. Yeah,
which is big numbers for Australia.
For Australia, it's a lot of numbers, a lot of fights. 86 wins.
Yep. When did you? What age were you a pro?
I was so as an amateur, I was 13. I started having my amateur career as a 13-year-old, and I turned professional as 18.
So you didn't fight for 3 years. So you said you went into the gym at 10?
Yeah. So it was about 2.5 years.
Nice.
3 years. So it was crazy when my old original coach, amateur coach, I went there to lose weight for footy, and then obviously he goes, "No, you're ready to fight." So I remember my dad picking me up that day from boxing. I go, "Oh, my coach," he says, "We're ready to have a fight in Queensland." I go, "Okay, this is interesting." He goes, "We came here for footy, for training and stuff. We didn't come here for fighting." I go, "No, let's do it, man." I was young, You don't think of it. I think the younger you are, the earlier you get into the sport, the better it is. If you're bred into it, and obviously you're young when you're doing it, you're not thinking too much of, what if I get hurt? What if this happens? What if that happens?
It becomes a natural thing. Now, fighting's, as well you would know, there's so many other things that would scare me more than I'd rather get into the ring than talk in front of a bunch of people on stage. But this is another point to that 2.5 years. A lot of people now will ask me, though, like, oh man, I just started training. How long do you think I'll wait till I have a fight? As long as it takes, man.
That's right. Yeah.
You're going in there to hurt each other. Like if you need 3 years, take 3 years.
Take
if your coach says jump in here, I've seen so many bad coaches and just make bad calls. And they've gone, yeah, man, jump in because the promoters called him up. This guy's got knocked out cold. And now he's never going to fight again.
That's right.
Because it broke him.
Exact same thing I say to these young fighters and young guys, obviously, that want to turn professional or looking to have their first amateur fight. Okay, take the time to get 110% ready because, even if it takes 2 years, 3 years, at least you go in and you're 100%. If you rush everything, and the same with anything in life, if you go and rush something, it's not going to be 100% perfect.
You're going to miss the basics.
And then, that's right, you miss the basics, you rush it. And then obviously, things like that happen. You get knocked out, you lose, you don't come back. So
and it ruins the fighter. To see those. So I was the same. I don't think I turned pro. I was training for 17 years before. Yeah, you have to know little intricacies and distances that you can't pick up in short amounts of time. We've even we've got it's called black tie boxing, and it's like they get 8 weeks to train to have an amateur fight.
I've seen that. Yeah.
That's fine because you're going up against other amateurs, and they match you up based
both
on that.
Matched up and both novice.
And it's the main thing for it is the reason why I like this is it's to get you out of your comfort zone. And man, it's really cool to see the growth of people where they go from doing nothing and then they jump in here and man, to see the high that they have afterwards, like from accomplishing something.
That's right.
A lot of these guys haven't.
And they love it, man. Yeah, just to be in that ring and to. Even if you don't get the win, I'm talking about these guys, where they've done nothing before like this in their life, to jump in there and have a go. I think everyone should try it once in their life.
Sure.
Go in there, fight, see what it's like to fight another guy. Obviously, they've got the same level as you. They're not going to put you in with a guy that's had 20, 30 fights. It's incredible, man. And the feeling you get, the confidence, and to say you've done it. And I bet these guys, anyone that's ever done that, won't sit around and talk smack about any other fighter again, because they'll know what it's like to prepare for a fight. Of course, you get the respect.
And they also know what getting punched in the face is.
That's right.
This generation is able to just talk about and not get punched
in the face.
That's right, not
get punched. And if you do try to put one on someone, then you're going to get in trouble. So it's a crazy world we live in.
So since then, it was June was your last fight. No, it wasn't your last fight. It was the mid-year. So you went MGM, which that in itself was crazy. That's the only place that I haven't been that I want to go for fighting.
It was a crazy year, like the 3 arenas. Obviously, we'll go through it, but the 3 arenas and places I wanted to fight from a young kid when I started boxing, I said to myself, I want to fight in these arenas. I accomplished it in 1 year.
Yeah. So
they just popped up, and it was funny because obviously we got the MGM Grand fight. We fought Ray Perez, a very dangerous live fighter. That guy was on a roll. He was coming to the fight, beating a former world title challenger, knocking him out, and obviously beating a top 15 rated fighter and knocked him out as well. So he was on the roll. He was looking for a big win against me, but we outboxed him. We boxed smart. Actually popped my eardrum in round 2.
Really?
I had that perforated eardrum. Yeah, from a nice little short hook.
Yeah.
And I kind of just moved in towards it and caught that shot.
And was it the whole glove hit and the air?
I think it was it wasn't a proper big shot. It was more the glove, and it kind of just popped the eardrum.
Air pressure.
So look, I knew straight away that this is round 2. I got another. It was an 8-round fight. I got 6 rounds to go. I got a box. Got to be smart and get through this fight. Obviously done the business. The whole lead up to that fight, obviously being with Pacquiao was incredible. Heaps of exposure, heaps of media, especially US media, was huge. It's an arena that I always want to fight at. So to do that in Vegas was real cool. And then we went to Greece in June. Went back to Greece. Was my next one.
So you went against Richard
Pena, from Venezuela.
That was a TKO. And what was it? So was that the first time you fought in Greece?
Yeah. Look, first time I was actually ever in Greece. Really? I'm a very proud Greek. My heritage is very important to myself, and I bring that with me to the fights. I got that all over my back, of where I'm from, where my family's from. My family's from there. So to be able to go to Athens and, fight in front of a pretty packed arena. Boxing's not their main sport there. And for us to be there and walking down the street and people say, George, Kambosos, yeah. And we had open days and huge. It was amazing. And I did promise him. Obviously, we went and had a look at the famous Olympic arena there, and we've seen the big Olympic stadium. I did promise him one day I want to come back. I'm going to fill out massive arena. Who knows? With the big world title fights, we bring a massive fight there. Would be awesome.
For sure.
So we've done the business there, and yeah, it was good, man. It's good fun. And then obviously the recent fight, in December, Mickey Bey, former world champ, at MSG, Madison Square Garden. I actually made a joke to my old man, when we fought at MGM. I go, man, we made it to MGM, and after the fight, I go, now we just got to make it to MSG. Who knew at the end of the year we're going to fight MSG, against a guy like that?
Yeah. So just going on the Mickey Bey fight. So I've never had a split decision, and what was that like in that time when when you've heard him, he got the points. What are you thinking in that moment?
Well, I knew even leading into that last round, I knew I was up. I knew that, I was winning. Leading into that last round, I was up at least 4 or 5 rounds.
You just never know what these motherfuckers are going to judge.
That's right, man. You got to think, I'm in his backyard, and I thought of that straight away in that last round. I'm in his backyard. He's their former world champion. Yeah. I'm the Aussie guy, the guy that's coming up, but he's their old school guy.
He's already got 1 point on the card.
He's got their points on the card. I'm thinking, okay, let me go make a definitive, point in this fight. Let me make a statement right now. So as soon as I switched it on, I came in there, went looking for a bang, caught him, put him down, and put a statement on, obviously, on the whole fight. But when they did call, obviously, split decision, my promoter Lou DiBella, who obviously is a massive promoter in the US, big time promoter, I could hear him behind me. He's like, no, don't tell me. This is bullshit.
That's all you're gonna do. Yeah.
I like, you know what? It's meant to be. It's still part of the fight. I'm gonna win this fight.
Yeah.
And obviously they read it out and still undefeated.
The man,
from
the
Sydney,
man. That's the one,
Australia. And look, that was a risky fight. We weren't supposed to fight Mickey Bey. They were looking at a different guy, a guy that we're gonna walk through. You got to think I was already number 3 before that fight. We already had that eliminator ready.
Yeah.
It was coming. Big eliminator fight, big payday. Obviously, big opportunity to get to the number 1 position. That was already set.
Yeah.
But I'm the kind of fighter that wants to always test myself, and I done it here. I beat the best here. I done it back to back, and when Mickey Bey's name popped up, I said, let's get him. I hadn't even looked at him. Yeah. I remember him from being with the old Floyd Mayweather crew, and obviously he trained with Floyd for 15 years, and Floyd Mayweather Sr. as well was his coach. But I said, without even looking at him, bring him on. Let's do it. This is the kind of name I want in the US. Everyone, as soon as I was in the gym and going to spar in different gyms, they knew, man, you're fighting Mickey Bey. That's a big fight. So everyone knew who you're fighting.
Yeah.
I wanted that.
Everyone underestimating you still.
Yeah.
Everyone, even now with all of the fights coming up, bro, they still look at I'm talking about the armchair quarterbacks. They're like, oh, he's not. And then every time you prove them wrong.
That's right. You keep proving them wrong, man. I've been copping that for years, man. Since my Australian title fight in my 6th pro fight, where I fought a veteran, a 2-time Australian champion. They said, man, the Kambosos team is taking this way too early. I said, no, don't worry, I got this. The guy, if he beat me, so be it. I wasn't ready. But I knew what I was going to do. I'm a confident fighter, and I've known every time when I've stepped in that ring against high-class guys, Ogilvy, Bala, De Los Reyes was a good fight. And obviously my last fight, Mickey Bey, and earlier this year, Ray Perez, these dangerous guys. I knew what I was going to do. So now again, when I come up against Lee Selby, I know exactly what I'm going to do. This is a world title eliminator. Everything I've worked for has come to this moment. This is my world title fight.
That's it, man. And so the winner of your fight with Lee, that's at MSG in Wales. The winner of that gets Lomachenko.
Yeah, well,
the winner of Lomachenko.
Yeah. So this is May 9th. Look, it's going to be in his hometown, Wales. This is obviously they won the rights to do the fight.
Yeah. How does that come about?
Look, we went back and forth with them. We tried to get the fight here.
Yeah. Is that so? DiBella will speak with them.
Yeah, DiBella speaks with them. Obviously, he's with Eddie Hearn.
Yep. So Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, it was looking like it was going to go to a purse bid. Yeah. They threw some good money, and you know what? I'm the kind of fighter that I thrive on going in someone's backyard,
taking it there.
If I'm going to beat a former world champion in his backyard, and I just done it against Mickey Bey.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. Let's do it against Lee Selby. Let's do it in front of his hometown. He's been in the game a long time.
Yep.
He's 33. He's on old legs.
Hey,
he's on old legs. It's my time. I'm 26. I'm young. I'm hungry. I'm getting better and better. If they think they've seen something good in the Mickey Bey fight, man, I'm gonna be 100 times better. I learned a lot from that fight as well. And look, this is the fight to get to the winner of Lomachenko Lopez. I'll be the mandatory to one of them.
So Lee is he number 1 or 2?
Well, I'm number 3.
Yep.
He's number 4.
Oh,
So
right.
1 and 2 is vacant. So this is for the number 1 position
Nice.
to be the mandatory. That's how they do it in
Yep.
IBF. But he's also number 1 in the WBO.
Yep.
So he's number 1 in the world in the WBO.
So you take all spots.
This is man. You take them positions. And look, I like Teofimo. I've met him. I've spent a small amount of time with him. He's a real good kid. I wish him all the best in the fight, but I'm hoping Lomachenko, wins the fight. He's got the name. He's the big fish.
That's your money. That's your money fight.
Yeah, look,
I know it's not just the money, but that's your in Australia.
That's
boxing,
my fight. Yeah,
that's the biggest.
That's the biggest fight. And look, to be honest, even it's not about the money for me. It's about getting my hands on these guys and getting in the ring with a guy like Lomachenko. And again, so many people would doubt me. Even when they spoke about it earlier this year, where Aaron went out and said we want to do it in Australia, man, it went crazy. And you had a few people that said, man, don't underestimate Kambosos. Yeah. But a lot of people were like, Loma's gonna kill him. So that's right. I put my fingers up and I said, okay. The more you talk, the more it motivates me.
Exactly.
I'm the guy that's out there, running late at night. I'm the guy that's training 2-3 times a day. So
and that's
what I want. I love it.
Glad you brought that up because that drive and that work ethic that you got. I was speaking to Mir, our strength and conditioning trainer.
Yep.
And he was like, sometimes he has to pull you back and tell you to stop training.
Well, it's funny. Even on Friday, we're doing our big squats and all our weights, and I'm telling, come on, let's add weight. He's got his little piece of paper, and he's got the number. He's gonna kill me now, but he's got his piece of paper with his numbers. Okay, listen, stuff your numbers. I know what I'm doing. Let's go. Let's up it. That's the way I am. I just always want to train.
He's probably gonna not like either sides of this.
Yeah.
But I tell him, I was like, bro, sometimes it's not science.
Yeah.
I was like,
Man,
sometimes I'm just gonna fucking go for
just
it.
Just work, and you get pumped, you get in the zone, you get focused on obviously your upcoming fight, and you're just in the gym and you just want to push hard.
Yeah.
Same when I'm in camp in Miami. We're supposed to spar 8 rounds or 10 rounds. Bring another sparring partner in, bring someone else in. Let's do more.
Yeah.
Pads, we hold a certain amount of rounds we're supposed to do. Let's do another 2, 3, 4. Let me go hit the bag for another 2, 3, 4 rounds. I just feel like the more you do, obviously you got to be smart. You got to train smart. You can't over push it. But I feel the more you do that mental edge, physically, you're probably not even doing too much physically, but it's mentally, I'm doing more than what obviously my opponents do.
Exactly.
And that's the way I'm built.
And sometimes you mess it up. Sometimes you do go too hard. Well, I don't know if you have, but I have a few times. Sometimes you just push it over. Like I almost drowned in the pool one time. It's like 2 weeks before my camp.
Hard,
I did like 3 sessions and I was like, I wonder how hard I could swim. And I just kept doing sprints until my body gave out.
Well,
and
man,
I almost drowned in the pool.
I'm not the best swimmer, so after that first, second lap, I'm nearly drowning. So, but put me on the road running, I will run, man. I can run like crazy. I'll run.
I'm not the
and
best runner.
Obviously talking about before Billy Magulius, obviously my sister's boyfriend, I was going to do my 10, 12K run. And he was home and he's like, let's go. I want to run with you. I go, all right, let's see how you go. So, man, I ran. I pulled back a few times to obviously keep him there. And he freaked out. He goes, man, you can run.
And when that competition comes in, bro, you're just like, I want to break you.
I just want to run. It's the same with me and Pacquiao. Man, if you've seen the way we not only sparred and trained and done everything together, but the way we ran, it was competition the whole time. Who's going to win? Who's going to push each other? Now, we're pushing each other. He's saying something, I'm saying something. So,
and see, that might even be why you said that you weren't the sort of style fighter that he wanted, but maybe he wants that. He was like, he wants that kid that wants it more than everyone else. He wants to verse you and know that he's still holding it with the kids. He said it too. He goes,
I see a lot of you, coming up in the way I was as a young fighter, hungry, and you do whatever you can, whatever it takes, to get what's yours.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had that goal, of becoming a world champion in my head, and we've had to go through some big fights, had to go through a lot of different things. Where obviously at the start we weren't signed to no promoter, we were doing everything ourselves, me and my father, and we had to go through all that stuff.
Yep.
Trying to get the big fights, trying to get out of Australia to get to the US. We beat certain guys to get our opportunities, and then we're there. Yeah, we got there, and we've taken risks, we've taken chances, and they've paid off. And again, we're taking another big risk to go into this former world champion's hometown. But I love it. I thrive on that, and I know what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to take him out.
And it's good as well to see how all of your goals have aligned. Like the last year, you said bang, 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 knocked him off, and it looks like it's because you've just nailed it on your goal.
100%, yeah. And it wasn't like, I want to do this, I want to fight at this arena. It just happened. It just, from the hard work and from the victories and me pushing myself, they just aligned. You know, it just came through, and everything has just fallen into place. And there was times early in my career where you can't see it. Yeah. It's like, this is going to happen. It's going to fall into place. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
There was days where I just
it's frustrated. It's just faith, bro. Hey, you have to just believe
and obviously
it.
I know you're going through an injury now, and obviously I can imagine how frustrating it is. You just want to be in the ring. You want to be in the octagon. You want to fight. But look, you'll look back in 2 years, 3 years where you're at that stage at the top, and say, okay, that all happened for a reason. That made you stronger. That made you obviously the person you are.
For sure. And I believe it, and because stuff that's happened in the last year that I've accomplished, almost compares to how important it was that I was in the UFC.
Yep.
Like, stuff that's just happened outside. I've gone, shit, this, bro, if I was fighting, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
A lot of cool things have come up like that. And another one is a project that we're working on, hopefully a couple months, for people to come do this mental toughness challenge. Yep. And comment below if you'd like to join in. It'll be like a 40-day thing. It'll be especially for, there's a lot of people that couldn't do the boxing because they didn't want to box.
Yeah.
So I wanted to try and bring up something to
something
sort
different,
of teach mental toughness
out of the box.
Because it's not just physical side. It doesn't matter how physically strongly there if you're not there in the mind.
Of course, and you go inside obviously to fight another man. You know, I mean, you know how raw it is, and how you could be in the best physical shape of your life, but if one little thing, that 0.5%, something goes in your brain or something changes, it could totally stuff up everything.
Yep.
It's crazy, man. And I've done that obviously with certain fighters that I fought. I knew that physically they were great fighters, technically really good fighters, talented guys, but mentally I knew that I could get in their head mentally by saying a few things, by doing a few things, by showing them that, man, I'm training harder than you, I'm doing this, but even by just saying and showing them that I'm training harder than you, gets in their head.
I love that mental side of it.
Yeah, it's the mental warfare, and a lot of guys in Australia don't understand. It's big in the US.
Yeah, massive.
But that mental warfare, that old school, obviously warrior, that Spartan warrior, the samurai warrior. I love all that stuff.
Yeah,
that's what excites me.
It's a lot. I guess it is coming out a lot in MMA. Fighting in general, but it's like an old school boxing thing. Hey, like you've been doing it for a long time now.
Long time, yeah.
And I was thinking about this just yesterday when I had the podcast coming up. I was trying to think about like core differences in MMA gyms and boxing gyms, and like one of the things I noticed with boxers, especially that bravado of being like I'm the man and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think. I was like, we don't have any. There's no mirrors in MMA gyms, but in boxing gyms, it's massive. So you sit there all day and you're just looking at yourself.
Yeah,
I'm the best. I'm the
mirrors everywhere. Yeah, in boxing gyms.
And I know that's like a lot of technique-based, skill-based, but I'm sure that would bring up the ego, which then therefore would bring up the self-confidence.
100%. When you look at yourself in that mirror and you see the man, obviously you see the person you want to be or where you're heading, and you see yourself throughout camp. Say it's 10-week camp. You see your body at the start. Then when you get close to the fight, ripped and stronger, and you look at yourself and say, okay,
shit, I look good today. That's why I noticed you got the slick back hair,
I got
bro.
The slick back hair, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling strong. I'm a strong, 135 pound lightweight warrior, and that's the confidence side. You need that. If you're gonna go into a fight and not feel confident, you're gonna, some people think that you're being cocky or being brash, whatever it is. It's not, you're getting that confidence side. It actually motivates you. It pushes you.
Yeah. You have to know that you're the best going in there.
That's right. There's two different sides, and obviously the things that I've said throughout obviously my career coming up, and back a few years ago when I was fighting these guys in Australia, I was pretty loud, and I didn't have no kids, so there's more things I'd say. Obviously I'm a little bit more reserved now and laid back, and especially after doing the camps with Pacquiao, I've been a humble guy like that. Yeah. You learn a lot of things, but you learn from what you say, and obviously it motivated me. It pushed me back in them fights. And look, you're gonna see some fun stuff throughout this camp as well.
Mad.
And I know I'm already in Lee's head, and there'll be plenty more. Especially when I get over to Miami in 2 weeks.
Man, and how long are you doing your camp there for?
This will be about 9 weeks. Yeah, in Miami. No, we'll be 7 weeks in Miami, and the last 2.5 weeks will be in the UK. We're making sure that we're coming to camp early. I'm already in great condition, already in great shape. Weight's great, not heavy.
How much weight are you cutting?
Man, I'm only cutting, max 10 pounds.
Wow.
Which is nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. I walk around because I'm always
normal?
training. Yeah, that's normal for me.
Yeah.
My coach, obviously in Miami, can't believe I come into camp and after the first session, I could make weight the next day.
Yeah.
I feel strong. I feel good.
Yeah, different people have different outlooks on it.
Yeah.
Like if you don't need to, like, look, perfect example, Wilder.
Yep.
What's he, 96, 98 kilos?
Yeah, that's right. So you don't have to be super, super heavy.
Yeah.
To generate that power, that explosiveness. And I've always felt, staying around that weight range, and training all year round, as a professional. When you come into camp, it's easy to make weight. You're focusing on the fight. You're focusing on the game plan. I'm not sitting there thinking, oh man, I've got to make weight. I've got to lose this weight. I'm not going to make it. You're just focused on doing the business and doing the game plan.
Yeah, I got that from Cowboy. You ain't got to get ready if you stay ready.
That's right, 100%, man. And I've always, been in that same mentality. From a young fighter coming up, always in the gym. My biggest thing is, after fights, I'm back in the gym straight away again. And I should learn to take at least a week or so.
Rest, pull up the brake
pull
a little
back,
bit.
And obviously my missus, she hates me when obviously she backs me with everything I do, and she loves obviously how much hard work I put into it. But after the fight, she goes, just take a week, just relax. Not for me, but not for obviously for her. But she goes, just for yourself, take a week, relax. I say, all right, no worries. As soon as I fly back home, I'm in the gym, I'm training, I'm doing something.
But see, this is what it takes, bro. If you want to be the best, like someone else is out there working.
That's right, 100%.
So what are you doing? It's like, and this goes back to even as kids, like people telling parents not to push their kids to be like this. If you want your kid to be the best, they're going to need this work ethic.
That's right, yeah.
It's like, if you want them to be normal, then keep them doing normal shit.
Let them do normal things. That's
but
right.
If you want to be the best and teach these lessons to be successful, unfortunately, they're going to have to do shit that you don't like.
That's right, yeah. And look, obviously, my kids are very young right now, but, there's little things that obviously they see from what I'm doing. And obviously, my daughter's obviously a little bit older now, so she understands what daddy's doing. She understands that I go and fight. And I tell her always, where's dad going today? Boxing. She puts her hands up, and I'm more worried about her wanting to fight than obviously my son.
Boxing,
But obviously I don't want my kids to fight. I really don't want them to fight. But again, if that's what they choose, I'm going to support them and give them everything that I got. And that's the same with whatever they do. Whatever they do, I'm going to mentally prepare them for them to put their best in, not to put half-ass. Things.
And those are those key lessons that you're going to look to them
teach? And that's the key lessons, obviously, I'm going to teach them, and that's the key lessons I've been taught from my father.
Awesome.
If you're going to do things, do it 110%. And it's the same, it goes back to when I was playing footy. I'd come last, overweight. The parents would sit on the sideline watching the kids train, and the coach would say, look, go do the lap, the full footy field. And I'd make sure I'd never cut the corners. I'd do the whole thing. And that was back then, before any boxing, before reading any books or having any thought of anything. You know what I mean? And I'd come last, dead last, every time. And my old man, already putting in them key placement, them things embedded into me in the car on the way home. He'd go, look, why don't you cheat? Why don't you cut the corner on purpose? And he'd see what I was going to say. I said, look, no, I'm going to do it the right way. It'll pay off somewhere. And look, it has, man. It is now. When I'm doing my 10Ks, 12Ks, when I'm sparring, everything I'm doing, I make sure that I don't cheat, because I know if I cheated back then,
you cheat now.
Maybe I wouldn't be where I am right now.
You cut corners in PT, you cut corners in life.
100%.
That's a big one from my dad as well. Man. Every single rep. Don't cut the reps.
That's right.
I can't stand when people jump up and they're like, they've done the rep. Well, actually, it fucking doesn't really bother me, to be honest. The only reason it bothers me is because they're only hurting themselves.
That's right, I
was like, you think because you jumped up before everyone and you did 8 reps.
That's right.
You didn't cheat me.
No, it doesn't matter.
You cheated yourself.
You're cheating yourself. And the thing is, if you're pushing that weight, right, and you're doing your 6 reps and you're going to failure, you can't do physically, your body won't push, at least you push everything out, you go all the way to failure. And that's, I'm a big believer of that, and it's been embedded into me from a young kid. You're going to do something, do it 110% right. Don't cheat yourself, don't cut corners. And look, at the end of the day, it comes off, you're there, you've made it. If it doesn't cut off, you can't look back. You don't look back and say, I should have done this, I should have done that. I never wanted to, throughout the start of my career, from when I started, I always told myself that I'm never going to look back and say, oh, I should have done this.
I know I can beat
anybody in the world, but if the guy's better on the night and he beats me, no worries, no problem. I know I didn't check myself.
I love it, man. That's a message right there. Hear this man talk, spit him facts.
100%, man. We're more than just a fighter. Yeah. You know, man, a lot of guys, they don't realize that it's one thing to fight, but to actually have the knowledge and to see things differently. Look, I hope we, from our podcast today, we motivate and inspire. I mean,
even if it's just
kids,
one, bro. Yeah, even if it's just one person. That's why we do this podcast. One person, they hear your message. That's enough for me, man.
100%, man.
So a couple of questions that we asked all of our guests. 5 people that you'd like to have dinner with, dead or alive, if you could have them.
Ooh, okay. Obviously, you got to have Tupac in there.
Yeah.
You have to have him in there.
He's been on there a few times.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would, yeah. Who else, man? I've actually had dinner with Pacquiao, so I can't say that. Yeah. I've had dinner with him a few times.
Sneaky brag.
Yeah, man. Man, who else? Who else?
It's a hard one, bro. We get a few people with this one.
Yeah, it's a hard one. Obviously, I mean, I love so many different athletes.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kobe Bryant. You know,
man.
Obviously, he's passed away now, which is incredible. What's happened there?
Was we did a bit on it. It was a sad.
Yeah,
sad
very
day,
sad, man. So I'd love to sit down and have dinner with him.
But that's that same work ethic that he's got, man. Emulated.
That's right, and obviously you got that book out, Relentless, which is his.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, man. So
really, bro.
Good friend of mine put me onto it. So
man, I was gonna mention this in the podcast to you because I was like, there was a couple of things, and it made me think of you last night with So this 75 hard thing that I'm doing. So it's just because when I'm out of fight camps, man, sometimes I just like drop off a little bit. But the 75 hard, it's read 10 pages of a book a day.
Yep.
Do 2 workouts minimum. One has to be inside, one has to be outside. Drink a gallon of water and take a progress picture and stick to a diet, no alcohol or cheat meals. And most of them are pretty easy, but the 10 pages is the one that, because I don't read 10 pages a day. So most of them I do already, but you have to do them every single day for 75 days. And if you don't do one, then you have to start at day one. So my dad started 5 times. My little brother started 5 times again. But Relentless, I've been reading that book, man, and far out. Everything is hit, man, especially for athletes. The business side, I was reading it going, fuck, I'm not crazy, because I'm like looking at it and it's like talking about the dark side and like talking about why you mess up in life sometimes, and I'm going, shit, this makes sense because I'm a 0 or 100 person. I'm either doing 0 or I'm doing 100%. I'm all in, bro. So
that's obviously
check it out, Relentless, Tim Grover. If you want to check that book out, man, definitely worth a read.
But obviously, another guy that I'd love to have dinner, DMX.
Oh, yeah?
Really? I love DMX, man.
I was just watching Cradle of the Grave yesterday.
I'd love to sit down and have dinner with him. Look, obviously, McGregor would be cool.
Yeah.
He's a madman. Love to have dinner and probably end up going to a few bars and clubs after.
Party after.
And you know what? I love to have dinner before my fight with my next opponent, Lee Selby, so I can look him in the eyes and tell him, I'm going to beat your ass.
The man. All right. Just before we go as well, I wanted to give a quick shout out. Someone else we trained with, Josh Colabau.
Yep.
I want to check up on his updates for the fight. He took the fight on late notice to fight on UFC Auckland. Man, that's similar to what I did. And when I heard that he had the opportunity, because my manager got the same fight, and I was just like, bro, he's a weight division up, and they were like worried about it, and I was like, fuck that, you just take the fight, man.
Take the shot, man.
Like, when they told me that I had 4 weeks, I didn't even ask the opponent.
Yep.
If you get that shot, bro, let's go.
Yep.
It's like, figure it out on the road. Take the reins, man. Bro, it might never come again.
Yeah, this is your opportunity. This is your breakthrough. So yeah, man, all the best.
Good on him. I hope nothing but the best. I'm hoping that he won. We'll check that up, and we're gonna go watch the Wilder vs Fury fight. Also, quick shout out to Drink West and Muscle Bros. Drink West will be releasing the beer. It's launching May 2nd at Lakeside Lunch, so get down there. 1 week, tastes delicious. And did you want to shout out any sponsors or shout outs coming up? So first of all, your fight.
Obviously, May 9th, in his backyard, Wales, World Title Eliminator, big fight. We're ready. About 8-9 weeks away. I'm physically ready right now, so Selby, you better get ready. Obviously, all my sponsors, all my people behind me, You know, there's a lot of you guys. Obviously, I appreciate your support. You guys have been backing. There's a lot of you guys that have been backing me from very early in my career, and a lot of you guys that have been supporting my career now. So I appreciate all your support. And yeah, man, all the fans, all the supporters, everyone watching here. Hope you've picked up a few things from here. You've taken some motivation, some inspiration from obviously us here having a chat, and you know, all my supporters supported me from my journey. You know, we're ready to win that world title, and you know, keep watching.
My man, thank you. Next week, hopefully, we'll be doing a catch up with Bam. We'll have a very special guest if it's possible. He's training over at AKA. Thank you again, George Ferocious Kambosos.